This is the best response I've gotten in a few years. So anyway, I just wanted to welcome everybody to Firetalks. As usual, we have our 3 judges that I wanted to introduce first. We have Sec Barbie.
I clap for myself.
The infamous Space Rogue. And the karaoke Katie Moe.
Karaoke is after this.
All right, so is this the first time that you've been to Firetalks? Okay. Oh, wow, so we got a lot. So does everybody know how this works? Probably not about 3/4.
Clearly they're here, they don't know.
All right, who doesn't know if they've been here? So you can raise your hand. No, so what this is the idea of Firetalks is everybody comes in traditional conference tracks. You have about 45, 50-minute talk, and so it's a challenge to really, at least from my experience, I would listen to a talk and I would be, okay, I got it. And then the last 10 minutes is where all the good content is. And so the challenge here is to really just try to squeeze your talk down to those core 15 minutes and make it quick. We do, so traditionally, so the reason why we have the judges here is to give good and humorous feedback. And so we encourage a lot of people that maybe you've never spoken at a conference before. We used to be in a smaller venue than it is here, but just in a more intimate environment, if you want to call this intimate, yeah. But it's intimidating, yeah. But at least it's a smaller crowd here. So what else? So what the judges do is they're going to give you a little bit of feedback, and then at the end of the session, we will kind of rank all the different speakers. And so the person that comes in, quote, first place is going to be, they have win most likely an Amazon gift card of $500. The second place person will win $250, and then down to half that, so $125. Let's see. I think that's about it. We have a few moments more. Did I forget anything, guys?
Oh yeah, you forgot one very, very important thing, and that is that the judging, we take it very, very seriously, and bribing is very much encouraged. So if you want to bribe the judges, we would very much like that and appreciate it.
And we'll judge based on bribes.
Judging is based on bribes.
Yeah, we're definitely here to judge everyone, like pretty much. So yeah.
Even the audience.
Ourselves mostly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sweet.
All right.
That's usually the form of the bribe. And
So that last minute, if you all could just kind of forget that. But remember it in the back of your mind and come up, please.
Oh, one more thing about the judging and the rubric, which we mostly make up while we're here. There is one pre-agreed rubric, and that is mandatory point deductions for any mention of ML, AI, or blockchain. And there is no amount of bribery that will undo what you have done when you say those things. So that it doesn't help you. There's no amount of alcohol that can fix that.
We did make a change to the rubric a couple years ago since we are in DC and times have changed. Limited usage of cyber is okay.
Yeah.
Limited.
Oh, yeah, it's true that we should.
Yeah, we'll drink that. Yeah.
Cool. All right, so without further ado, the first talk is titled Cybersecurity Clubs You, something I'm particularly interested in I have a 14-year-old son, so it's just kind of cool to hear things more. You're in college still, right? Yep. So it's college student, so it's good to, maybe there's some younger folks here that could get some advice about how to get into security. So I'd like to welcome Shannon McHale to the microphone.
Wait, before she starts, I have to say one thing. Y'all have to stay through the entire thing, though, to see her through the end, because it will impact. We will readjust our judging.
I will award 5 points based on that introduction acceptance already. So.
Thank you, thank you. You guys don't cheer for me like that at club, wow. So we'll hop right into it. My name is Shannon McHale. I am a third-year computing security student at RIT, in case you couldn't tell. And I am really, really, really obsessed with SHMOOCON. Up here you can see all of my SHMOOZ's student applications. I go really hard because I really want to be here every single year. The first year, my freshman year, the only reason I came is because a bunch of upperclassmen told me that I had to get here. And that group of upperclassmen came from my club, RITSEC. It wasn't called that then, but it is now, so we're not going to talk about that. And that weekend was hands down the best of my life. Straight up best of my life. I fell in love with this industry. After the conference, we went to the monuments, and we were on the stairs of the Lincoln, and I just had this overwhelming feeling of belonging, both in the club and in the industry as a whole. And I just had this insane gratitude that I had found the correct school and the correct job for the rest of my life. Honestly, I was brought to tears, but in like a low-key way, because they were the upperclassmen and I wanted to be cool, so I just kind of like cried, me and Lincoln chilled out, and that kept going because I kept my cool reputation, and I eventually became president of the club. They call me Lil Prez, because I hope you can all see me right now. And yeah, so as president, I work really, really hard to make sure that everyone feels that acceptance. I hype up SHMOOCON a lot during interviews for companies. I will clap about SHMOOCON and get really excited. I think I convinced everyone in the club to come. Is the club here right now? Can you guys give me So we're a little big, but a little loud, but thanks guys. There's other clubs like this throughout the country. It's not just us. We just happen to be one that was blessed enough to be around for 20 years. There are clubs all around doing the same things that we are, and although we do it differently, we have the same overarching goals. Our goals are to teach one another everything we can within our 4 years, give it or take a few, years of school, to compete not only in CCDC and CTPCC, but in clubs and competitions that we run ourselves throughout the year. We're always competing. Most of all, the clubs create a community that supports our passions, supports our ideas, and supports our drive to learn. So I'm not really sure how all of the clubs do it, but RITSEC in particular meets for 4 hours every Friday. We have a portion where we do education, we teach people intro topics, and we have demos. We do research where students go up and they talk about things that they've been working on. It's a great way to celebrate their passions. We have interest groups in case people are just really into lockpicking and they want to meet for an hour outside of our 4-hour meeting. And then we have independent programs that do 10 hours of work a week in the labs, doing the hardest work they can to keep our club going. 4 times a year, we hold a competition. We have a hackathon. It's like a hackathon, but we're cool. We put on our hoods, we go into the labs, and we hack all night. We make super cool security tools, and you get a hoodie at the end if you stayed up, which is rare. We have our RITSEC CTF. We had 900 teams compete this year. Thank you. We had ISTS, that's a red-blue competition, the Information Security Talent Search. We have 13 teams come in from across the country to compete. We have industry professionals come in to help us out with the red teaming. There's also a CTF and a little purple team aspect to that. And we have IRSEC at the end of the year. That's my favorite competition because it's internal to RIT. We spend a whole day together just hacking each other. And that has a really big focus on incident response because we want the freshmen and the first-timers to really understand everything that happened to their box during the 8-hour competition. So you might be thinking, how the hell do we do all of that without me looking like this or the club members looking like this? And the answer is we get a lot of love and we get a lot of help. We have 10+ red teamers come in from around the country using their own money. We have the CTF. We get a lot of challenges from other people. 50% of our presentations are from our sponsors or our alumni. And 100% of everything we do is completely sponsor funded. Thank you, sponsors. Thank you, sponsors. So we get a lot of love, and that's great. And you might be thinking right now, all of that sounds like a blast. How do I get involved? How do I get out there? Is there a club at my school? How do I know? Well, if you're a student, I encourage you to join the club at your school. If there isn't a club at your school, or maybe it's not huge yet, start it up. Keep it going. Throw some passion in there. Talk to other clubs. We've been around for a long time, so we know how to do this stuff. And we're always willing to help others. And once you're in there, really give it your all, because you're going to create connections that last forever, and you're just not going to regret a single second of it. If you're an industry professional, I want you to dedicate your resources. Conference passes are really important. It's the only reason I'm here right now, only reason I've been here the past 3 years. This summer, I got the chance to go to Black Hat. That's me right before I went in. It's the happiest picture I have of myself. I was able to go because I got a student scholarship. I got my internship to pay for me during the week, and then I had an alumni actually let me stay in her room, which was very, very kind of her, so thank you, Kirsty. So yeah, if you have the resources, give a student that chance. You won't regret it. Hardware, new or old, we always need it very desperately. It fries a lot. So even if you're about to throw it away, that could be a small club's first competition. Always give those away. Licenses, we need VMware, AWS credit, we always need DigitalOcean. So there's things you can do besides straight cash that can help people. Open source is always great for the entire industry. Sharing your resources is great. Certifications, courses, books can all be donated to students to continue their learning on their own time. And you can pick one that really helped your learning and your career. Anything you can contribute to these clubs can really make an impact on the way the students learn. This is one I'm really excited about because I want you guys to contribute. I want you to make workshops for beginners. I want you to create CTF challenges that will make me stay up all night. Come through to our competitions and talk to us during that high-stress environment. Or help run the competitions, because we always need help and more bodies to stay awake while we're trying to sleep. Give as many talks as possible, whether you're flying out or giving a conference or even Skyping in for an hour. Anything you can do will educate others. And then go home. Not right now, please don't leave. But go home. Go to your high school. Go to your college. See if you can go tell people, hey, I've been on that journey and now I'm here, and you are probably someone's hero. So go home. Anything you do makes us better cybersecurity professionals, brings us to another level, and makes us work harder. And making us work harder makes us a better industry as a whole. This is my favorite one. Welcome everyone. As you're here at SHMOOCON, talk to us at the conference. Who here is a student? Woo!
Other than who doesn't go to RIT? Who's a student?
Oh, that's so sad. Oh. Good. Well, they're here. They're here, and just because they're RIT doesn't mean they're not friendly. There's just more of them. So come talk to us. Be nice to us. Consider presenting with us even at a conference. My friend Susie in the audience came up to me over the summer and said, hey, I have a great idea. Would you like to consider doing it with me? And our talk actually got accepted at WESIS for this March, so we're really excited for that. Some students really know their stuff. They got spunk, and they're ready to go, so just give them that chance. Yeah, and then you have social media. One time, I got a Twitter DM from Rachel Tobach. I cried a lot, and it was really important to me. So always be reaching out, because I know it's such a small community, but you guys are really people's heroes. Like, we talk about you guys in the classroom like you're gods, like you are everything to us. So always be reaching out to people.
I fear for the future.
And hire interns. When you do, treat them as equal. Assign them really impactful work. And it's the best way to teach anyone and help them build confidence in their technical skills. Mentor. This is probably the most important one to me. I think almost every single one of my mentors are here. A lot of them are in this beautiful picture. Some of them are cropped into this beautiful picture. But they guide me, they love me, they've gotten me through everything. And a mentor can make the most impact on a person and to their career. So when you speak with students this weekend, even if they're RIT, consider continuing that conversation past where we are, and going to talk to them after the conference. Security through community is our RITSEC's motto. It's something I really believe in because without it, we wouldn't be able to do anything that we do. If our community didn't expand past just the students in the audience, although there are a lot of them, we really wouldn't be able to run our competitions or our club. Yeah, so I hope you all got kind of jazzed and got a little bit of a glimpse into what we do. I know I talked a little bit fast because I'm from New York. I apologize if you can't keep up. Work on it. Yeah, thank you, SHMOOCON. Thank you, SHMOO Group, for giving me the opportunity to speak here. It really is my dream conference, and I love it so much. So this being my first talk is an amazing blessing to me. Thank you, RITSEC. I love you. Thank you for letting me lead you and being the best people I could possibly learn with and stay up all night with in the labs with. And thank you to the upperclassmen who convinced me to come the first year. And you guys, I just wouldn't be here. So thanks for making me feel truly accepted within this industry, and I hope everyone else here knows they are too. Thank you.
Any questions for any younger folks there, out there that have some questions about that they would like to ask Shannon? No. Okay. Oh, one. I'm sorry, I didn't.
So you said that upperclassmen got you here the first time. What got you into security the first time?
Oh my God, that's such a long answer. Oh. So they asked me what got me into security the first time. There's many answers to that, but the one I will tell is that in high school, I took a class for Microsoft Word and just learning how to make a resume, and instead of teaching me how to make a resume at all, the teacher came in and told me we were going to be hacked by North Korea tomorrow. They were going to flick a switch. He made us watch the movie Hackers twice.
So what high school was this?
This was Walt Whitman. Love you. Miss you. Yeah, so he got fired the next year. He did. It was very sad, but sense. Yeah, best go Nober. You got it. Yeah. Any other questions?
Okay, so thank you so much. That was amazing. Another round, seriously, another round. So, and of course, by that I also mean of bribes. I mean that as in terms. No, I'm kidding. So listen. So Shannon, one, huge points for going first. I mean, seriously, yeah. You went first, and this was your first talk. So I gave you a +10, a +5, and a +5 for being first of the day and your first talk. You know. SHMOOCON was my first speaking in public about security also. And I had been in the industry already professionally for 6 or 7 years before I got up the nerve to speak. So kudos to you for just like getting on in there. So I gave you, well, of course I gave you +5 points for the audience love. That was ridiculous. And I gave you, I'm already going to get verklempt, you guys, seriously. I gave you +50 for your unapologetic leadership.
Thank you.
And when I say that, it's, you know, one, never meet your heroes unless they're in the mirror. Because we are very disappointing if we're outside of you, okay? But honestly, I want to be you when I grow up.
Thank you.
And that is my judgment.
Thank you.
Oh, I get both mics. All right, so first, I just want to say I do a lot of work with IRT, and you mentioned hiring interns. I know there's at least one of my future interns in the audience.
There are 7 here.
There's 7 of my interns are here, so good for you. I didn't know you guys put in 15 hours a week extra as part of the club.
More. Yeah.
That's a lot. I'm going to give you 1 extra point for using the bottom of my firewall graphic. That shows an extreme knowledge of history of SHMOOCON, and you can feel free to go up to Bruce if you see him and ask him about the logo and the shirt. He'd be more than happy to explain it to you.
I don't think happy means what you think it means.
No, it means what I think it means. As for if you decide to give this talk elsewhere, I would like to see more information both for and about the sponsorships, how to get them, what sponsors should do, et cetera, stuff like that. More info to people at other schools about how they should start and run a club, because sometimes starting a club like that can require teacher involvement and faculty involvement, et cetera. And I would just want to tell all of the RIT folks that if you get up and leave after her talk, I'm taking away the 5 points that Katie gave her.
Correct. They're gonna do it. Please, let's sit.
All right. First of all, you're getting plus 25 points for your glass alone.
Oh, yeah.
Just saying. Right. Thank you. Very nicely done. I love going after these two because I'm just going to echo a few things that they said. First of all, yeah, first talk, first speaker, way to go. That is amazing. I think what you guys are doing with the cybersecurity clubs, I wish I had that when I was little. But seriously, the one thing I would like to see more is I'd like to learn more, and maybe I will go try to figure this out after, is how many other organizations from the sponsor side as well as from the education side are doing cybersecurity clubs within the higher education. And I think we were talking earlier about even bringing it down to the high school level, middle school level. I think it's definitely where we need to be. So I will be really honest with you. When I saw your talk title originally, I rolled my eyes. I'm like, are you kidding me? Okay, it's another RIT thing. SHMOOCON is RIT. I mean, when it's RITCON. Who knew? But after hearing all this, you did an amazing job, and it brought me back to hearing some people. Well, I'm from Chicago, and some people from DePaul actually come here still. I don't know who, but one. Okay, two maybe. Regardless, I like seeing you guys are. You're the new blood, man. We're relying on all of you guys. So thank you for what you're doing for our industry.
Thank you.
Let me just say one thing on that point. I work with a lot of different schools, not just RIT. RIT does, yeah, I do. RIT does a lot of stuff that's different from other schools, especially in the depth of what you're teaching in the club area, outside of the classroom, as well as focusing not just on defense, but also on offense. And I see a severe lack of that in the higher education and the offense area. So kudos to RIT for focusing on that area.
Thank you.
Is it Billy?
Come talk to me later.
Next speaker?
We do.
Okay, slowly we're.
I don't know if we.
Oh, sweet! I got a laptop.
We do something with RIT. Bob's up
It was
there.
really nice to meet you.
Come talk to me afterwards. Okay.
That was badass, seriously.
What's going on?